Hi, my name is Nerijus Tenys, and today I'll be talking about social networks, the future of social networks, mostly focusing on gaming. In short about me, I am a software developer and architect by trade. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I've traveled around quite a lot. I've graduated from a university in the US. I worked some time in New York, worked in some European countries, spent 2 years in London, and just recently came back after 3 years from Japan, where I completed a master's degree focusing on artificial intelligence and machine learning, and worked some time in the gaming companies. And just about a year ago, I started my own startup called DreamerLink, which is a social network for gamers, role players, cosplayers, and other kinds of alternate reality, or as some people call it, Facebook for geeks. So today I'll be talking mostly, try to predict what's the future trends for the technologies, where the social networks are going, where the technologies are going, what are the key technologies. We'll talk a little about current day social networks, and then I'll introduce the DreamerLink, what it's about, why I started the startup, what's the idea, and we'll try to predict the road to the virtual reality social network, which I believe we'll definitely have someday. So about the future, this is of course very broad and open topic. So if at any time you have any questions, ideas, insights, feel free to raise a hand and come ask, and we can discuss it. I try to extract a few concepts, key concepts that I think will define what the social networks and the technologies and all the future things will go into. So first one is probably the most popular one in virtual reality. As you can see from this gaming show, there are many places where you can try it, and it's been really growing in the last several years. And there is lots of things to say. I guess the main things is that it is improving at a really fast rate. The resolutions are growing, and the response is getting better. The main issue is about how to control the body in a virtual reality. So right now you can move your head and you can adjust and see what's around, but you cannot move your body. So there are various solutions like controllers and contraptions and some kind of ideas how to solve this, but we'll probably won't have it for some time. And of course there are some other more scientific, more science fiction ideas, as you can see probably in the movies and animes and other things, where a system sends and reads signals from the brain directly. So maybe someday we will reach this level, but for now it is more of a science fiction. So another key aspect that I believe is going to be also important part of all the social networks and gaming and other things, augmented reality. And of course, as we all know, augmented reality is for catching Pokemons and having virtual girlfriends. But on a more serious side, all the Pokemon craze will really started a boosted development of augmented reality games. It's basically something that you have on you can see either through your phone or iPad or Google Glasses or something of a kind, and you see some kind of extra information from outside the world. And so this is the main source or main idea where it is used. It's extending the real world with some extra information, and you have probably seen this in practical cases where you have glasses or your phone and you can see directions straight on through a video camera, or you can see some shopping information and addresses and how to find it, etc. And of course, there is a next step is putting virtual worlds into reality, which, as an example, I can give where a real map is scanned and put into a virtual world. So there are some games that are trying this, and I believe Google is doing a lot of research in this area. So someday we will have virtual world real world inside a virtual world, and we can travel it and play some games or have another usages. The possibilities are really quite endless. And then we have alternate reality. A lot of realities. If you are confused about what I mean, just ask. And what I mean by this, there are probably several definitions, is the people kind of living, exploring different worlds, like gaming worlds, or role-playing, or some kind of existence that is not the reality that we know. So one of the key concepts that we often can see is having alternate characters in that world, or avatars. And you can see it like Avatar movie as an example of an avatar where a person's mind is transferred into an avatar in another world. It can be virtual world, can be maybe a realistic world, physical world, like in this example. But the main definition is that it's defined by fantasy world. And about alternate reality, there is probably another interesting topic, which is a psychological reason why we like to live in alternate worlds. And there is probably very deep and long discussion. I think the main point is that it is the form of self-expression. So we are quite limited in the real world, and there are rules, there are laws. We have to go to work and do some things that are not really satisfying us. And virtual worlds and alternate realities give us a chance to explore something different. And of course, we do this as anonymity, and we don't have to really worry about how we present ourselves. One of the key things I would like to make is that I believe that a lot of people say that escaping to another world is really a bad thing. It's because you cannot adjust to reality, so you are escaping it. But I believe the key thing is that it's not about escaping, it's about finding new experiences, finding new ways to learn, to explore things. And sometimes this virtual world, and alternate world, can feel more real than the reality. At least that's the experience some people are giving it quite often. And of course, we probably can't imagine the future without cybernetics, AI. And a lot of the cases, it's quite apocalyptic in the science fiction, where cyborgs start wars with humanity. However, this is also an important part of what the future will be like, how the social networks will evolve, how the futuristic technologies and how we'll interact with computers, with AI, and with each other. There are, of course, very many topics about this area. One of the key things as it relates to the gaming and social networks is the brain and computer interface. And there is quite a lot of research being done on this. So the idea is that controlling virtual reality or controlling any kind of game is quite inconvenient. You know, the mouse, the controllers, they have their limitations. So the ideal would be connecting your brain directly to the system, where you can control your character through brain. And there is really already a lot of adaptations of this, where people can control their artificial limbs with their thoughts, and of course having some implants. And this is already happening, and it's going to only improve in the future. So I believe there is also, not long ago, there was a research where researchers succeeded in transferring one mouse signal to another mouse. Basically, they communicated with each other through their brain. And it's going to take some time until we reach the human level. However, this is something that we can imagine in the near future. And without discussing too much about the future, let's go to the present and see what we have right now. So talking about the current day gaming networks, of course, there is one network that eclipses everything, and that's Facebook. Probably most of people really use it. And there are other gaming social networks. There's some streaming, like Twitch. You probably all know these communities. And I was actually wondering what people here use for communicating with other people. how do you find friends? How do you find your gaming partners? Anyone's using any particular medium? Yes? Steam. Yes, so this is a platform also, which is gaming, like a gaming social network. So anything else? And how convenient do you find the current day networks? Is it a good place, easy to find new people, easy to communicate? Yeah. Okay, well, for me, I've been using Facebook as well a lot, and I think it's a blessing and a curse. There is a good thing that there is a lot of people, everyone you pretty much know, can be found on Facebook. However, it is also very generic, and most of the time, what you have is just one wall with some chaotic information coming from your friends, from your gaming partners, from your family, from your co-workers, and it's really hard to sort it out and to categorize it, personalize it, so there is a lot of, it gets a little spammy. And one thing I miss in particular about the social networks in the gaming area is that in the older days, well, I don't believe I'm that old yet, but I still remember when people used forums and RC chats to communicate, and there was one thing that's in particular is having a kind of sense of community. So you had guilds and small communities of people that met up every day. And right now in the Facebook, it really gets lost amongst the many chats and spams and everything gathered in your wall. So there is no sense of community. So something I have tried to do with my startup, DreamerLink, and the reason it started was I played a lot of MMOs, which is massively multiplayer online games, where we have some thousands of people playing on the same server, and they develop communities and guilds. We meet each other every day, and we get to know each other pretty well, even sometimes without knowing who we are in real life, never meeting and not having any contact. So one thing I wanted to do is actually make a place where people can connect through their interests, their hobbies, their characters. So the key aspect of this social network is having avatars. So you create your avatar in some kind of world, like a gaming world, an MMO, a role-playing, a cosplay, and you connect to other people through your interests. So if you make a cosplay avatar, you can meet other cosplay people, cosplay avatars, and this way you can sort out and personalize information that you are interested in. So this is one of the key aspects, also connecting people through their interests and hobbies. And these kind of avatars also give a built-in anonymity, so you don't have to be your personal account, like in Facebook. You have your name, and whatever you post, everyone can see it. So if you post some party photos, the next day the boss can see it, and it's not always what you wish. So avatars give you a way to personalize this information and handle however you want it. And what we plan to have in the future is a close integration with various walls. So for example, if you are playing a certain game, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, you can have various integrations with API. So you can have automatic achievements on your site, or if you're catching Pokemons, you can see automatically your Pokemons on your avatars page. So this will be like a home page for your avatars. And of course, you can already check this out on the website DreamerLink.com. I would like to talk about the next steps we are planning to take, and I believe this is probably more interesting to many people. So what we are working on right now is a feature that I believe hasn't done yet, and probably is going to come in near future, maybe from us, maybe other social networks. So what we want to do is to have first a face capture feature. So face capture is when you have something filming your face, and then the face recognition software gathers your face features and then puts them on a custom 3D avatar. So this technique is very often used in movies, and all the Disney movies are done like this. So you have someone's filming actor's face, and they extract feature points and put them on the avatar. And what we want to do is to create a live chat through these avatars. So the idea is that you would go to your DreamerLink avatar, and you could connect to other people. And this filming your camera, it would transform it onto your avatar. And then you can communicate. You have a chat room with avatars, so you can be anonymous if you want, but I believe this is an interesting way to interact. And this is the next step where we can take a chat and Skype calls and other things. The next step would come like avatar customization. So at the start, we'll probably have only a few pre-made avatars that you can choose, and that they would reflect your emotions and your face expressions. But in the future, you could probably make your own avatar, however you wish. And there are even things that can be done, like scanning your own body and then transferring into a 3D model. And then you can probably customize it, or you can leave it like your body. The possibilities are really quite a lot. Of course, at some point, we can add the voice modulation, which isn't really that difficult once we handle the avatar transformations. So in the future, you could have like your own avatar in a 3D world, which reads your face expressions and communicating to other people. So this is something that I believe one day we'll have, and hopefully we will have this as a first version and let you try it out. So this is the next step, I guess, what we will undertake. And some companies maybe are trying it, but there is no really finished product for this. So eventually you'll be able to transfer your avatar through virtual reality. So not only having your face scanned, but you could also move your body, and your avatar will move your body with you. So it will be real full transformation. Right now this is quite difficult because, for example, when you put a virtual reality helmet, it's quite difficult to track your eyes, track your face expression. So it's possible to insert some cameras into virtual reality headset. However, it's quite difficult. But this is probably, it will be coming someday, and eventually we'll be able to have just sit at our chair or sit at home and have a virtual chat in another space, a virtual space, through our avatars. And the next step is probably virtual world. This can have many meanings and many possibilities. I probably can't predict them all just yet. One of the things, as an example, I could give is basically letting your virtual world through augmented reality, how to say, having your virtual reality world get transferred to real life. So for example, if you have a DreamerLink, like let's say, or another social network avatar, and you can have your phone where you can see a map, and through a map or maybe virtual glasses you can see other people, and instead of other people you could see their avatars. So for example, if you have your identity as League of Legends avatar and you look through the virtual glasses and see the other people, and maybe if someone else has a League of Legends avatar, you can see the information and the custom avatar and things like that. So this will really be like walking in a real world, however, really interacting through a virtual world, like another dimension. Just a summary of what I'm talking about. So face capture and live chat through avatars, customizing them, creating a virtual reality chat room and virtual world. And final thoughts, basically I would like to say how close we are, what is really possible, what's not possible. I believe this feature, where you can communicate to other people through avatars and through a custom chat that reads your expressions, your emotions really close. We might even have it in the next few years. And this probably will really transform how we communicate in the gaming world especially. So instead of talking on Facebook, someday it will be maybe just as natural to just hop on a virtual world and chat to other people through our avatars. And And I believe this is definitely coming. The next steps, like transferring virtual world, might be difficult. As I said, the most difficult part is really transferring body, how a body moves, to transferring it into virtual world. So we will have some research to do to finish this. However, in the future, we'll definitely, I believe, we'll have someday a virtual reality social network, as you can see in many movies and examples. So thank you for your attention. Any questions, any ideas, comments? This is a very wide topic, but I believe we can all discuss it. And if you'd like, you can find me at the DreamerLink stand in the hall 4. Send me an email, or just talk to me after a presentation. So any questions? If you have a question, you can come up to a microphone. If not, thank you very much.